It wasn't the SUV on my lawn that pushed me over the edge, it was the way Diane was twirling next to it like she was on a cooking show, barbecue tongs in one hand, box wine in the other, shouting to her guests that my driveway was now, and I quote, community overflow parking. And then her adult son Mason rose up, parks his lifted truck right behind her car, completely boxing in my sedan like he was offloading cargo at a shipping dock, pops open a beer, slaps a "reserved for VIP" sticker on my hood like it's all a joke, and I'm standing there, holding a binder of documents for a city planning meeting I was already late for, just breathing through clenched teeth. Now, you've gotta understand, this wasn't the first time they pulled a stunt like this, but it was definitely going to be the last. I had moved into that little cul-de-sac a couple months back thinking I was buying peace and quiet, you know. Lawn chairs, weekend grilling, the occasional kid selling lemonade. What I got instead was Diane, self-declared HOA president for life, and her son Mason, who treated our lawns like pit stops for his monster truck. It wasn't even subtle. One morning, I caught Mason draining oil straight into the storm drain. I called him out, and the guy just smirked, held out a breakfast sandwich and said, "Relax, bro, it's biodegradable." Diane. She overheard and actually nodded like he'd cured cancer. At first, I tried being civil. Wrote a note, had a polite chat about property lines and driveways. But civility only works if the other person feels shame, and Diane didn't. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "We're a community, Leo. Maybe don't be so selfish about your driveway." When I told her I couldn't get to my own car, she just shrugged and said, "Sounds like a scheduling issue." It only got worse from there. Random HOA events on weekdays, cars blocking sidewalks, zero support from the board, which was just Diane's brunch crew in matching polos. I took pictures, reviewed the HOA rules, even checked city codes. But I kept giving them the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe this was just a phase. That's when the flyer showed up. A neon orange monstrosity taped to every mailbox, Diane's annual neighborhood bash for respectable residents only. And at the bottom, in bold, "Park in nearby driveways, community spirit means sharing." That same night, a pink sticky note was slapped on my mailbox, "Leo, please move your car Saturday from 1:28 p.m. for guests. Appreciate it. D." No question mark. No smiley face. Just pure entitlement. I didn't respond. I didn't move my car. I made a plan. Saturday was hot. One of those still summer days where everything feels like it's waiting to explode. From my kitchen window, I watched Mason haul coolers out of his truck parked half on my grass again while Diane waved her tongues around like a conductor. Guests started arriving before noon, pulling up on sidewalks, blocking curbs, just treating the whole block like a parking lot. Then it happened. Diane pointed at my driveway, Mason backed his truck in, locked me in completely, tossed his keys on the buffet table, and cracked a joke about me being the valet. At 12:10, my phone buzzed. Reminder for my city planner meeting. This wasn't some casual Zoom call. I'd been working for months to propose a new greenway behind the neighborhood. I'd already rescheduled twice. This was my last shot. I walked outside, calm but firm, and asked her to move the cars. Diane gave me this look, half smile, half sneer, and said, "It's just one afternoon, Leo. Can't you reschedule?" I said no, I needed to leave now. She dropped a smile. "You always act like the rules don't apply to you," she snapped. "We're not moving our cars just because you didn't plan ahead." I turned to Mason, bite on a burger, and asked if he'd move his truck. He just shrugged and said, "Sorry, dude." So I went back inside. Pulled up the HOA rulebook Diane had so lovingly hand-delivered my first week there. Found the clause about blocking access. Printed it. Highlighted it. Then downloaded the latest footage from my security camera showing both vehicles in my driveway. I texted the whole package to my buddy Sam, a lawyer. He wrote back, "You've got them. Call the tow. So I did. 2 trucks. ETA 45 minutes. I even requested they arrive right when the party would be in full swing. Diane wanted a show. I'd give her one. The tow trucks turned onto our street like a cavalry charge, hazards blinking, engines low and grumbling. I stood on my porch with an iced tea, watching it unfold like a scene from a movie. Diane saw them first. Her mouth fell open, wine slushing out of her cup. She ran toward the trucks, waving her arms. No, no. You can't tow from here. This is private property. The driver calmly said, homeowner authorized. Vehicles are in violation. Diane whipped around to me, red-faced and sputtering. Leo. What the hell is this? I took a sip and said, you said I was part of the community, right? I'm just asserting my space. Mason came stumbling over, yelling not to touch his truck. The second driver, bigger and calmer, stepped in. Sir, step back. You're interfering with a tow. Someone started filming. Then another. Within seconds, the spectacle was the party. Diane screaming, Mason tripping over a cooler, people laughing, clapping, recording. Both vehicles winched up like dead weight. When the trucks finally pulled away, I looked out at the stunned crowd and said, next time, maybe send parking passes with the flyer. That evening, Diane left a letter on my mailbox. All caps. Marker. Notice, intend to file HOA violation for hostile conduct. I actually laughed out loud. She was furious, humiliated, and now trying to weaponize the same rulebook I had just used on her. But the story didn't end there. A neighbor posted footage of the tow to the HOA Facebook group. It went semi-viral. People shared their own Diane horror stories. Wind chime citations. Lawn ornament fines. Mason had apparently parked on someone's garden once and never apologized. By the end of the week, someone proposed a vote to remove Diane as HOA president. The meeting was packed. Diane brought her own flyers, tried to frame herself as the neighborhood's last line of order. But it was too late. People had seen the video. They'd read the rules. They'd finally seen that standing up to her wasn't impossible. It just took one push. The vote passed. She was out. A week later, a moving truck backed into Diane's driveway. No waves. No goodbyes. Mason loaded boxes in silence. Diane didn't even glance around. As they pulled away, I sat on my porch, sipping tea again, driveway blissfully empty. And you know what? I didn't feel triumphant. Not really. I felt relieved. Like the block had exhaled for the first time in years. So here's my question: was I wrong to take it that far? Or was that just what it took to finally get some respect? Tell me, have you ever had a Diane in your neighborhood? What did you do? Drop your thoughts below. I've got plenty of iced tea and time to read.